What's going on, guys? It's the Unhinged Engineer here, back with episode 13 of my grad school vlog. So if this is your first episode with us, welcome. I am vlogging my master's degree in computer science that I'm pursuing at night through Georgia Tech's online program while I continue to work full-time as a software engineer. And today's episode is going to be about the final exam for my first class. So I am taking AI Techniques for Robotics as my first course of the program. It's really fitting for me because my specialization is in perception robotics, right? So it's kind of a standard required course, and I was lucky enough to take it first. I really enjoyed it thus far, and as of a couple days ago and taking the final exam, I got an A, which is pretty nice. I'm very relieved that went well. And yeah, I want to talk about the final exam, what I had to do to prepare for it, what it was about, and my review of it overall. And then after that, I'll discuss kind of my plans for the vlog over the next couple weeks, just because we're in between classes, so it's kind of a lull. But yeah, I'll just kind of lay out what the next couple weeks are gonna look like for y'all. So yeah, let's get into the final. So I finished the SLAM project, which was the last one we had to do, about a week ago. It was getting a little bit down to the wire, and yeah, once I was done, I immediately started studying for the final. I was not really worried about the final too much compared to the SLAM project because I took the midterm and it was pretty straightforward, and I figured the final would be similar. I was correct, which is nice. So yeah, once I finished the SLAM project, I approached studying for the final the exact same way I did for the midterm. So I reviewed all the problem sets, I reviewed the little quiz questions they ask you in the lectures about, wrote a bunch of notes, did a couple of larger calculations by hand, but didn't really iron those out that much for reasons I'll discuss shortly. But yeah, just kind of approached it in the same way I did the midterm. Also in the midterm, I guess for context, I got a 90. I got a 90, and that was worth 8% of our grade. This was worth 12% of our grade. The final exam was worth 12. And yeah, the final was cumulative, but it primarily focused on the second half of the class. So that second half being PID control, the search project, search algorithms like A-star and value duration, and SLAM, so simultaneous localization and mapping, which, like I said, is what the last project was about. So those things, as well as some peripherals like tuning controllers and path smoothing and things, but nothing too crazy. So yeah, those are the broad strokes of what it was about. Studied it in the same way I did the midterm stuff. Also reviewed the stuff from before the midterm because it was cumulative, and just jumped right into it. So I took it the Saturday of the weekend that we had to take it. It was available to us Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You log into Honor Lock, and then you have an hour and a half, whatever, to take it. Closed book, closed notes, closed internet. So I did that Saturday morning. I calculated myself as needing a 25 to keep an A. Turns out I think that was an overestimate. I think I could have gotten away with even less. But regardless, I wound up getting a 26 on my first attempt, and to be honest, I was lazy and I just kind of was done, right? So I knew I got an A after getting that 26. I also had some extra credit that I've referred to in previous episodes hit, and that was another 3 points. So now I think I have like a 93 or 94, something like that. Point being, I got the grade I needed, and I kind of just left it at that. So that was a couple days ago. I am happy to say I'm done with this course, as I'll go into a lot more detail about in my final review. I did really enjoy it, and that's pretty much a neat little bow on the final. But what did I think of the final and also the midterm that came before it? Just kind of to briefly preview my review. I honestly think while the exams weren't bad, I think they were definitely a low point of the class, mainly because of how great the projects are by comparison. And the grading reflects this, right? Like I did 5 projects, I believe. 5 projects, and each of them, if you average them out, was equal in value to the final exam, and the midterm was worth even less, right? So you do these projects, you implement them from scratch. It really forces you to learn how they work super intimately, which I loved. I love that about this course. And then afterwards, they start asking you pedantic, like true and false, or vocab definitions, or multiple choice that are kind of dumb and not really related to actually writing out the software. It almost felt like they thought there was a need for exams, so they just chucked them in there, like for credibility's sake or whatever else. They do seem tacked on, and so yeah, I think it's just super redundant, and it's just hard enough to be annoying and force you to actually do some work to prepare, but not hard enough to actually reinforce the concepts, right? Like if they asked us to implement an omega matrix from SLAM from scratch, or do an iteration of the Kalman filter by hand, like sense move cycle, whatever. If they asked us to do those things, the actual math of it by hand, granted it'd be a lot more annoying and they're probably complaining about how much work it is, but that's besides the point. It would actually force you to relearn and reinforce these topics, which, as far as I can tell, is the point of exams in the first place. But asking us to do like, true and false, this algorithm's guaranteed to give you a global optimum, and like you don't really know what they're asking about or what's in scope of the question. This is basic undergrad type questioning that I was hoping would be left behind. And like I said earlier, for the most part was left behind in this course. It really was all about the projects, and that's why I enjoyed this course so much. The finals just kind of seemed tacked on there for who knows the sake, right? So, not the best part of the class, but they were fine and I got through it okay. So no large complaints here. But yeah, so speaking of complaints, I guess I'll allude to the next couple vlog episodes of what they're going to be about. So there will be, I don't know what order I'm going to post them in yet, I haven't really decided, but one will be even shorter and sweeter than this one, and that'll just be about the next course I'm taking. So I have officially registered. I got into the class I wanted. I think I alluded to it a couple episodes ago, but if you want to dig through and figure out what it was, you can. Otherwise, I'll leave you on a cliffhanger. Yeah, so I did get the course I wanted, which I'm excited about, and I'll explain what it's about, why I picked it, and what the summer semester is going to look like in that vlog episode. So that'll also be short and sweet like this one. Beyond that, I'm going to do a much larger, I don't even know if I'm going to consider it a vlog episode, but a detailed review of the course, right? So go through all the topics that we talked about, what the course pacing was like, the different assignments we had to do, give my review of it, how what I thought the good, the bad, and the ugly was, and yeah, really lay out how this course was for somebody who would be taking it soon. So yeah, that'll be a lot more formal, and I'll be on my whiteboard and everything, go into a lot more detail than you're probably used to with these episodes. So yeah, those will be coming out in the next couple weeks during this lull in the classes, and then when this lull ends and the semester ramps up, we'll get right back into business with this next course we're going to be taking. So yeah, if that's content you're interested in, or you're interested in my general weekly uploads about professional development for young engineers like myself, I would highly recommend you subscribe to this channel, in my very biased opinion. I hope this information is relevant to you, and I know it's been relevant to me to just kind of write it down and put it out in the world. So if that's something you're interested in, please like, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.